Hey guys, so it's been a minute since I've done a back out screen, so I'm getting dressed and just get done with my shower and just I don't know, just kind of trying to get dressed, before I gotta leave and trying to get around and figured I'd come on here and do a video. Last couple days, kind of got a chance to have a new perspective on things and realization about things and broken heart about some other things, kind of helped give me a different understanding of what direction I really need to go, because I've been pulled in so many freaking directions, and I don't know about you, but when I get pulled into so many different directions, like, it's hard for me to freaking make up my mind about things, because, well, it's hard, when you're being pulled in so many different directions. But, I know I need to start making some decisions, and, start stepping into some things, It's been about 7 years now since where I am, and, on the outside it looks like I've moved on, but on the inside, not so much, and, I usually wouldn't be the one to tell you this, but healing is so freaking important after you lose a loved one, or something traumatic like that happens, or don't just jump in and try to ignore it, with the next relationship or whatever, because you would definitely feel that backlash later on. And it was kind of lame, black screen. Everybody just loves looking at my face. Figured I would just talk a little bit, and then when I got dressed and everything, then I'd flip it around and do some cards, maybe some scripture, but alright, maybe I should just leave a black screen, who knows. I know I'm not that exciting to look at. And something that keeps coming to me and keeps telling me is like, I should have trusted my intuition. I should have trusted my intuition. I should have trusted my intuition. And let me be the one to tell you that I've done a lot of second guessing myself for a while now. And even though I knew that I knew, I still ignored the signs and the red flags and the things I know I should have listened to. There were so many times that I just wish I would have listened, I wish I would have had that honest conversation. I wish I would have stood my ground, or been woman enough to stand up and say something, instead of just sweeping it underneath the rug and hoping it'll change. hard when you want to take a step in a direction in life and other people aren't ready or don't want to or not on that level with you, you know what I mean? And I've noticed in my life, wow, if I was just listening to myself, I would have trusted, because you'll notice that with life, it's funny, when you don't listen to yourself and you don't listen to your intuition, or you don't give yourself enough credit, and you allow yourself to be underappreciated for yourself and from those around you. I think it's hard to not feel some type of way about it, you know? It's your own fault because you've undermined yourself. You've allowed other things to undermine yourself. Sorry. Lady Flow. Sorry. So, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm in my emotions a little bit. But I think it's time that I stop ignoring it, you know? Notice, like, when you've discredited yourself so much, or your intuition, or whatever, you know, so much, like, you begin slowly to stop crediting yourself at all, you know, and really start second guessing yourself, you know. So, I don't know if, I don't know about you, but I know if I'm going through something, somebody else around the world is going through probably the same thing. And, so I guess not only I need to be hearing this for myself, but somebody else needs a reminder and a boost or a push or a reminder or whatever to stop ignoring. Stop ignoring what you know is real, what you know is true, what you know, what you keep denying to yourself, you know, and stop being so scared of so scared of things. Because you're scared to face them, or you're scared to come to the realization with them, I guess. Because there's definitely going to be times in life where you're going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, I really wish I would have never freaking second guessed myself in the first place, because I knew all along that it was going to be what it is, and I freaking ignored it, and now I'm way off worse than I fucking should be, or, sorry my language, way off more than I should be. Dang, I wish I would have turned back when I knew I should have, because now look at me, I'm stuck, and I'm dumb, and I'm in my feelings, and yeah, they're sorry, but what about, you know, you know? No, you should have followed your intuition. No, you should have followed your, you know. But instead, you said, no, you put off that thing, you should have done, and you're like, man, I know I need to get it done, I know I should just start it. Or, man, I was like creating something, creating my group, creating all this stuff, and gave up on it, but now all of a sudden the things that you were working on is really fucking popular, and people are really into it, and you're like, man, I should have done that. I know I should have kept going with that. No, I should have did that. Man, I should have did that. I knew God was giving me that revelation for a reason. I know God was getting me to work on that for a reason. I know God was giving me the answers to that for a reason. And the more and more you go against yourself, the more and more you second guess yourself, the more and more you become uncertain of yourself. The more and more you become uncertain with yourself, the more and more you will second guess yourself completely, and you will rock that boat for so long, and you'll never be able to trust yourself like you did, because you've second guessed and you've allowed things to fester because you've been uncertain about things for so long. And I know that for me, I gotta be careful with that, because I depend on those little nudges. And I'll have those people I can honestly trust and completely believe that they're gonna always be in my best interest, Some people are selfish, and some people, they will help you walk down a path that is completely, let's just say you probably should have freaking realized some things a long time ago and accepted it, and, went about whatever, and for me, if I would have just believed myself when I felt that about them or the situation, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in, or I wouldn't have let things go as far as I did, and you gotta get to a place where you're comfortable with just going with that intuition, or going with that small voice, or going with whatever, when you know that you know that you know, instead of letting it go like 6 months to a year, and then come to find out you've been cheated on, you've been lied to, and you've been playing with your heart the whole freaking time, or seeing her the whole freaking time, and wandering off, and lying about it, and making you feel like you're 2 inches tall, and then you're making each other feel like you're 2 inches tall because you don't trust him. He lies a lot. You're giving up, sacrificing, and freaking realizing you've put yourself so far in a freaking opposite direction of what you wanted to go because you've trusted and let them lie to your face so much, or let them lie to your face so much, and you start really second guessing some things. You're wondering about yourself, and then don't let it get to that point, okay? Take it from somebody who definitely should have never let it get to that point. And that's my fault, and that's my problem, And you gotta be careful with that, because it's really easy to get misplaced very fast, and I never thought that in a million years, I would freaking been so far off track that I would just decide that, fuck it, it's just easier to go this way, you know? And I guess I should have figured, you know, because I've stayed on this path for so long, you know, and all my life I've freaking had this direction, you know, with things, and it's not really an excuse. You can't keep making the excuse for things like that, you know? Which I'm not making a complete excuse for that. But, I know that if I would have been more diligent about things myself, and not been so forgiving about other things, you know, I probably would have went a different direction with things, you know. If I would have just gave a crap when I know I should have, instead of letting things fester and be the way they are, you know. It's hard for you to gain stability once you've allowed things to be the way they are for so long. It's not fun, it's not easy, and you will get tired and irritated quick about it. Especially when you should have gotten irritated about it, you know, a year ago. You should have got to this point a year ago to help grab yourself and shook you a little bit and made you turn around, you know, and leave that situation, or done that project, or turn in that book, or any of it, you know. It's irritating when you've played in the darkness for so long, because you've kind of accepted this where it's at, you know. And there's things that I regret, no doubt, that I wish I would have been more serious about, no doubt. But past all that, can't blame yourself too much. You can't stay stuck on it too long. And you definitely can't allow yourself to be badgered about it too bad, because if you're not more forgiving with yourself, or gentle with yourself, you will tend to beat yourself to the point of no return, you know, or like there is no return. And definitely don't want to do that. You gotta remember that God forgave us, you know, so it would only be smart to be forgiving to ourselves, you know. And you gotta remember to be gentle with yourself, because not everything you're gonna catch or get right off first. There's gonna be things in life that you thought you were more knowledgeable or more stronger to face or go up against, and you're gonna realize that, holy cow, I probably should have done myself a favor a long time ago. And there's gonna be some things that pass you by, and you're gonna be like, Yeah, I should have been more, effective with my time and more, about my shit than I was about a stupid relationship or a incident that I knew I should have learned a lesson a long time ago from. Instead, I've here 7 years later and allowing it to freaking ruin my life to a point where I'm regretting a lot, But that's okay. That is okay. Just know that God forgives you, but He doesn't forgive the fact that you keep going or staying in it, because He didn't give us life to keep us there, to allow us to keep ourselves there, But be so quick to force your own hand with things when you're not ready, okay? Because what that happens is that you start forcing yourself to go or do or be or in a situation or in a direction, and then you start noticing that you're not ready to face that, you're not ready to come to terms with that, or you're not ready to move on as fast as you thought or easily as you thought, and you start pushing yourself a little out of the, you start pushing yourself in a direction or in a motion you're not ready to be in, and you could actually hurt your progress. But then again, maybe you need that, maybe you need that push, or maybe you need something to stop allowing you to sit in your shit. Because sometimes it takes somebody pushing us and kicking us, making us get up out of our shit to actually realize, like, hey, I've been sitting way too long. And it sucks. It does. Sometimes I just want to sit in my pee party and just let it be what it is, But it's not healthy. You'll end up 7 years down the road wondering what the fuck you did wrong and why you didn't pull your head out of your ass sooner. Wishing you did. And then wondering, like, how did you become so pussified you can't even, push yourself out of destruction, That you allowed things to go in or be in direction and so long, sit in your shit for so long. And, you gotta be careful with things like that, It took me a long time to realize that I really truly did deserve more. And my husband used to tell me when he was alive that, I deserve more than what I allow myself, and to give myself grace. And that no matter what background or family or past that I had, or anybody has, that your past doesn't define you, and your past is not who you are, and you are more, and you are worthy of more. And it's took me a lot to realize that about myself, and I'm not giving any excuse, but And I'm not downplaying, or I'm not making it like, oh, poor me, but, you know, when you've come from a rough background, or you're in foster care, or whatever, I know it is easy to look at yourself and be like, who are you? You're not really worth fuck. And, you really think you're worthy of that? You really think you deserve that? But, don't do that to yourself. Because, all because you don't think, or you don't believe that you're worthy or deserving of whatever, or worth anything, or whatever, you know, the case may be. Just know that there's self-talks you tell yourself, those repeating things that you tell yourself, you know, those recurring thoughts that you don't shut down when you should shut them down. They make a difference. Those voices that you hear make a huge difference in your life. And if you're not careful, you will allow those voices to completely take you into a direction, or keep you into a space that you wish and you will end up regretting later that you would have pulled yourself out of, instead of sitting in it, festering in it, and allowing it to sculpt you as a person. And I know it's easy to do, believe me. There's self-prophecies that you're speaking over yourself, you know. Don't think for a second that you can just up in one night just like change that thought or belief about yourself, because it's hard. Believe me, it is very hard, especially when you've sat in it and festered in it for so long. And because, you know, it is real. You know, once you hear something for so long, you start to truly believe it about yourself, and you will start believing it, no doubt. I wish I would have truly, honestly been more gentle with myself than I am. And I wish I would have been a better cheerleader than I am for myself. And don't ever think that you're too broken to be used, or too broken to have a life or have what you want, because you're never too broken to better yourself or have more than you've had before, or that you don't deserve more than what you have or what you've given yourself. I will be the first to tell you that you truly are not your past. You're not you're not those lies that Satan has given you a footstool to believe instead on, and believe about yourself. Because you're homeless living on the street doesn't mean you don't deserve a home and a spouse that loves you, or a chance to do it different, because you do. It's not going to be easy by no means, but it all starts with that one thought. And it may be hard to tell yourself, and you may not believe it, but it took you believing that lie over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to believe it and get you where you're at. So you sitting there telling yourself over and over and over and over and over and over and over, I am worthy. I am, better than this. I do deserve more than this. I can get up. I can, whatever. It makes a difference. Being your own self cheerleader would probably be your best, ammunition that you could ever have, with things. And, believe me, I'm not always, completely 100%, and I don't give credit all the time, and I probably should, and definitely take myself for granted on a lot of things, or I should have probably been more grateful and thankful and forgiving, and but that shouldn't be the ultimate determination. 31-32. On where you land or where you allow yourself to be at or go or whatever. And I just hope that this video finds you when you need it. It's about time I gotta get up out of here. So I'm not gonna be able to do my cards and stuff, but please, 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 if you need prayer, if you need anything, if I can be your cheerleader, I will be most happy to be your cheerleader and root you through this journey and help you find your way and your stability and your grounding with yourself. I totally would love to help pray for that for you and be that other voice that's not lying to you and helping actually feed positive into you, not negative. Peace and love. Jesus loves absolutely every single one of you, even when we're in our shit. He will meet you right where you are. So don't forget that, and don't ever believe the lies that Satan tells you, because you are more and you are worthy and you are worth it. And you're never too far. Every day that we wake up is a day that we get to find the grace that God's given us, so we should give it to ourselves. And let's stay in our shit and get up and enjoy outside, even if it's just getting up and taking a step and making your bed. That's a step. And don't ever downplay that for yourself, Have a good day, guys. 31-13.